business.
Hi, I'm Linsey Preuss. I'm the Economic Development Coordinator for the City of Fairmont, and I get to interview Blake Pottoff from the Opera House today. Hi, Blake.
Hi.
We've got lots going on at the City of Fairmont, so we're excited to be able to highlight some of those things a different day. But today, Blake, what's going on at the Opera House?
Oh, goodness. Well, we have a limited amount of time, so I can't get to everything, but we can talk about some of the things that we've got coming up yet this spring and into the summer that we're really excited about.
Yeah, so do you have anything specifically for kids? I've got 3 kids, so I'm really interested in that.
Absolutely. A lot of times people think that the Opera House is just opera, or it's just for adults, or leave the kids at home, and it's definitely not the case. Mm-hmm. We've got kids shows coming up. We've got one in March. There's books called Dogman that a lot of the kids love reading by Dave Pilkey. And we're doing some public shows in the evenings, and then we have school shows during the day for Dogman the Musical. So that's definitely a kid show that we want to make sure that everybody gets out to. So working with the schools with that one. We have a show called Fairy Tales on Ice for kids. Think Disney on ice, but not Disney. It'll be Peter Pan and Cinderella, all ice skating on the Opera House stage. And we also have monthly workshops for all of the kids too. So learning about dance and lights and sound. And those are $10 per time. Otherwise, if kids come to all 8 of them throughout the year, then their summer theater experience is free as well. So ample opportunity for kids to be involved at the Opera House.
Are you serious? Peter Pan and Cinderella are coming to Fairmont, Minnesota?
Yeah, and ice skating on the Opera House stage, which is kind of terrifying because, I like the movie Sing, and so when I saw that, I saw myself as this little koala guy, and it scares me a little bit because he's got the big tank on stage. The water floods the place and it falls down. It's okay because we're not having water on the stage.
Well, that's good.
They have synthetic ice that they'll bring in. They piece it together like a puzzle, and then there's this fluid that they put on it that they can then ice skate on top of. So it'd be a very cool interactive lights and sound and storytelling show on ice.
That's amazing. Yeah. When is that happening?
That's April 1st, and that will be a 7 o'clock show on April 1st at the Fairmont Opera House.
Wow, I'm really looking forward to that one. It's very cool.
Me too. We have a show the night before that too. We have a show called the Highwaymen. So it's Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, that Highwaymen music. So I'm excited about that because I'll be there that night and we'll have really great music. But then the group will set up the next morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So only a couple hours of sleep to get everything switched over back to do an ice skating show the next day because we have school performances as well during the day. So in the span of 24 hours, I'll have 4 different performances of 2 different shows.
Wow, Blake, that seriously makes me wonder, do you sleep?
No, I also have a 1-year-old at home. So I drink a lot of coffee and I run on a lot of adrenaline. But it's kind of this roller coaster, right? And it's what I missed for a long time during the pandemic. This roller coaster of we have this show and it's the prep and the prep and the prep. And then the payoff, the peak of the roller coaster is we have this really cool experience that I get to share with people in the community and from afar and this really cool thing. And then you kind of go back down to we're planning and prepping for the next show and you kind of climb back up. So you run on those peaks and valleys that we have and the excitement of the show and the people around really keep you going. And then everything got taken away for like 16, 17, 18 months. So there was never that payoff, right?
Yeah.
And the day that we were closed, we were supposed to have a concert that night. So it was the build up. And then there's that no payoff of the show, that roller coaster ride. So that really keeps me going. And having people in the building and having the potential of 500 people to make 500 different memories in one night and have kids come in, 500 kids during the day, and then all of these people to share these things with, that helps so you don't have to sleep as much because you just get the payoff of everybody having a good time, and that's really important to me.
That is amazing. What if I want to be involved at the Opera House? What can I do?
Oh, there's lots of ways to be involved. And some people think that they're a little scary because it seems difficult, but it's really not. So we have tons of volunteer opportunities to help out at the Opera House. We have our bartenders, which I always start with, and everybody gets scared of. It's not that hard because I can do it, right? So if you've ever had a drink in your life, you could bartend at the Opera House. It's very simple. You can open a can of beer and hand that to somebody. Very easy. Can of seltzer. We have our full liquor license too, so it's very simple mixed drinks. And the pourers they measure it for you. So you don't even have to worry about measuring how much alcohol you're putting in the drinks.
So I don't have to know how to make a margarita in order to bartend at the Opera House.
We have pre-mixed margarita that you just put some ice in a glass and dump it in there. So
perfect.
It's really easy to bartend at the Opera House. Another couple ways to be involved is ushering. Ushering shows is very simple. We have a ticket scanning. It's really just a cell phone that takes pictures of the tickets that we have. So then people can go in and see the show. And we usually have between 4 and 6 of those for every show that we do. We also have a box office attendant that sells the tickets. And it's an online system. It's very easy to use, credit card processing, some cash transactions. Otherwise, it's a couple clicks and you're good to go. You print the tickets off and give them to them. And then the last one is a will call attendant, which is probably the easiest of them all. People who purchase tickets ahead of time, we set those out on a table, and the will call attendant says, I'm the will call attendant. Anybody who's purchased tickets picks them up from there and goes in and sees the show. So those are show-specific ones that we're really looking for, but we also have mailings that we send out that we need help with folding and stuffing letters and things to prepare and get ready for around the Opera House. So there's opportunities for cleaning or helping carry stuff in for shows and loading in shows. So if there's something that interests you in administration or in arts or in music, just let us know and we'll find a niche for you to fit in.
That's really great that there's opportunities really behind the scenes and not necessarily everything during showtime. That is really nice.
It is, and it helps us a lot too because we're a small staff. There's only 3 of us at the Opera House, and we're running this next year. We're planning on being busy between 200 and 250 days of the year, and that's kind of absurd for 3 people. So we definitely need help. We need help from people who want to be there to, like I say, help stuff envelopes or hang flyers around town or just simple things like that. And the show ones are pretty cool too. And it's not that difficult. We try to make it easy. And one of the benefits is you might get to see the show or a good majority of the show, or even meet some of the people who are there at the Opera House who have toured, around the state or the country or even around the world. So,
and the best part is you get to see the people's joy from being able to be a part of the show. Absolutely. So you get to do that for free and you're giving back to your community.
Yeah. Well, and it's for free, but we're also going to pay you, quote unquote. So we have this initiative called the Pay It Forward initiative. So if you volunteer at the Opera House, we'll credit you $10 per hour. And then you can use that credit that you have to use as a rental. So you can rent the Opera House and rent the theater and use the big screen to watch movies or play video games. You can have birthday parties in the basement or however you want to use the Opera House. Let's say it costs you $100 to rent the Opera House. Well, you can pay for up to 75% of that by volunteering at the Fairmont Opera House. So you could cover $75 and only pay $25. It helps us, it helps you, and everybody wins.
That is amazing. I really didn't even know that, Blake.
Yeah. We try to do things like this to tell more people about it. It's not as out front as it should be, but it's something that we've really started to do to track the time that people give back to us. We also want to start, and will be starting, a Volunteer of the Month program, so recognizing the people who give us the most time, and a Volunteer of the Year. People who give us the most time and who help us out the most, we'll have a little ceremony for them and reward them for their help.
Wow. And so if anybody wants to volunteer at the Opera House, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, well, there's a fillable form on the bottom of our website at fairmontoperahouse.org. It says sign up for our newsletter, so there's ways to be involved with that. Otherwise, you can call us at 507-238-4900, or you can email me, director at fairmontoperahouse.org, or Samantha, our technical director and Fairmont Area Community Theater Program Coordinator, which is a mouthful.
Jeez.
And she helps with the volunteers as well. And that's just Samantha at fairmontoperahouse.org. Just let us know.
That is great. Thank you so much for your time today, Blake. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, we have lots of community opportunities to get involved, more than just volunteering. And the shows we present is often what people see the most of. But we have new community theater shows. We have a small cast musical that runs in March. So make sure you check that out. 4 people doing a show about the struggles of high school and struggles with confidence and body image and that sort of. It's an amazing musical called Calvin Berger. So people should really check that one out. It's only 4 people.
Is that like an encouraging?
Yeah, it is about how the struggles of high school and all we went through We've all been there. It's like, I'm not sure about my body. The main character, he's concerned because he has a really big nose. And he writes these letters to the girl that he likes because she likes his friend. And so it's this kind of circle of like, I'm not confident in myself, but I'll help somebody else be confident. And it's a really wonderful story about building that self-confidence and having body positivity and a positive body image. So,
ooh, I love those inspirational stories.
Yeah, we try to do something that uplifts people.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things in the world that drag people down, and we want you to forget that when you walk through the front doors. So that's one of them that's coming up.
What was the date on that one again?
So that'll be the first part of March, the second weekend of March.
Sure.
Calvin Burger will be that one. We're also looking at doing A Midsummer's Night Dream, and we'd like to do that outside in the spring, probably in April, to do Shakespeare in the Park. So there'll be more community theater coming. We're planning our summer community theater. We have monthly children's workshops, like I mentioned. We also have adult workshops. So if you're interested in learning about dance or light or sound, then you can contact us at the Opera House and come and check out those as well. And then the last thing we're doing, well, not the last thing, two last things that we're doing. We're very busy. Sometimes I lose track of count. One of them is for kids specifically, and it's 21 and under. We're hosting DJ dance nights on the Opera House stage. So it's a no alcohol event. We're checking IDs at the door to make sure that there's nobody over 21 there. And we have a DJ service for the Opera House because we have tons of free time apparently, where we DJ weddings, and we've done proms, we've done father-daughter dances, that sort of thing. But we'll do a dance night at the Opera House where kids can come in for free. Concessions will be available, popcorn, pop, water, some cotton candy, chips, cookies, that sort of thing. And then just dance between 8 and 11:30 on the Opera House stage. So we'll be doing those monthly. And then for people who aren't under 21, we're having kind of these parties every week in the Footlight Lounge. We've got a Valentine's Day party where you come in, there's live music and specialty drinks. St. Patrick's Day, we're celebrating Shakespeare's 458th birthday in April. To have all of these different community events and parties to highlight the Opera House, to give people an opportunity to be in there, not just to see shows, and to take advantage of the newly remodeled Footlight Lounge and Bar. So always tons of stuff going on to just check out on our website and follow us on Facebook, and you'll be up to date with all of it.
So there is really no reason that people can't find something to do here in Fairmont, is there?
No, there's not. And we're just one of the offerings of the things that we have here to do in Fairmont. But we knew there were voids, and we saw a lot of those voids in the year of COVID, where there was a need for something to do, and there was a want and a desire for something to do, and to be involved and around other people. And so we want to make sure that we can offer as much as we can to keep people involved and out and happy.
And it doesn't even really matter what you're interested in or how old you are. You have something for everyone.
Yep. Yeah. Our community theater is kindergarten through 12th grade. And so we say we can cater it from anyone to, kindergarten to 100 plus. The Opera House is 120 years old, but that doesn't mean you have to be 120-year-old to be there, right?
Right.
So it's a building and an organization meant for everybody. And it's not just Fairmont either. It's anywhere in Martin County, southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. The building exists and the organization exists for the people and because of the people. So we'll keep doing everything we can to keep the people in the building and keep them happy. People
do come quite a ways to come to our Fairmont Opera House, don't they?
Yeah, in the time that I've been here, we've had people from Chicago and Missouri, the Dakotas, just based on the shows that we have. Sometimes there's a show called Voice Play, an a cappella group, originally from Orlando, Florida. They were on the sing-off, and the closest that they were to Chicago was here. And so there's a family who said it was easier for us to drive 8 hours and get a hotel room than to drive the next closest place they would have been. So we draw people from all over to come see the shows. And like I mentioned earlier, we draw shows and bring them here from all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining me today, Blake. I was really excited to be the one to interview you today because even though the Opera House is art and I'm economic development, it is really surprising how the two can work together and how the Opera House brings community to our town.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful because, like I said, it's not just people from Fairmont. It's people from all over visiting, and they're going to restaurants and to bars and staying in hotels, and all of that intertwines with your job and with mine.
It really does. It has a greater impact than just the people and just your opera house there. So thank you for everything you do, and I look forward to chatting with you again in the future.
Sounds good.
Martin County on TV, talking business.
Well, there you have it, another episode of Martin County on TV. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we welcome you to tune in again. Thank our sponsors for making this happen, and remember, it's not just the past, but the present that tells our story.